And we are live.
Aloha! Snack bar, everyone. It's the one, the only true Senor Silverback, the monetary monkey, back again with the main man, the master of the flux capacitor, the sidekick extraordinaire, the one half of the dynamic team that has taken over the airwaves. It's us and Rogue Money Mornings. You can follow us on Twitter at @DRogueMoney. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out also on roguemoney.net. And guys, let me tell you this. We have a super exclusive interview with my buddy, Jim Rogers, my main man. We had a lot of fun, a lot of good laughs. Me and Jim haven't talked in a while, so it was awesome. If you want to hear that exclusive interview, go to roguemoney.net, type in your email, and you'll get access to it. It's that simple. It's an awesome interview. Jim breaks down everything that he's concerned about. The last time Jim was on was July of 2016. So when I had the radio show, so for Jim to come back and a lot of the things that he talked about back in that July interview have come to fruition. It is interesting to hear what he has to say about what's coming around the corner. So go to roguemoney.net, pop in your email, and voila, you will get access to that awesome exclusive interview. That interview will be shared with you. And then later on, sometime during the week, we'll flip it to YouTube. With that being said, also, guys, check out our sponsors. If you're in debt, you are crying rivers of tears because nobody's there to help you. And the bankruptcy attorney says it's going to cost you 10 grand to go get a bankruptcy. You're going to have to lose your house and car. And then the debt consolidation company says, well, you're going to have to consolidate your debt. And then after 10 years, it'll go up 5 points. Before you do any of those crazy things, check out the guys over at myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us. Go there, book a call. Heck, I might even call you and let these guys. These are the debt and economic, not economic, but they're the debt and credit hitmen. Let these guys kick the bankers in the nuts. With that being said, CJ, what's crack-a-lackin'?
Hey, good morning, V. Good morning. Got my second cup of coffee. I'm fired up and ready
I'm
to
on my
rock
first
and
cup of
roll.
coffee.
I'm on my second. I had my first. My kids get up early. The wife gets
That's
up
what it is.
early, school and all that. So I'm pouring my first coffee by at least by 6:15. But now I'm on my second, ready to rock and roll. So how you doing?
Dude, I'm fired up, man. I mean, where should we begin? Where should we begin? I guess we'll start with the first one, okay? Because this is something that we talked about with Jim. Let's break this down, dude. Trump flips on 5 key issues in 24 hours. Is that 4D chess or is that 1D Connect 4? CJ, I'm getting tired of this 4D chess stuff. Everybody's saying it, man.
Yeah, I keep waiting for the breakdown or how this is going to help us, how it's going to flip. But pretty much, it
It's
was funny in the
conjecture at this point.
yeah, it was like in the argument last night or the discussion last night. You know, basically what was stated was that in the fact that anything that Trump stated on the stump or anything that he stated to get him elected, pretty much just think the opposite right now.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the deal. Monday we had London Paul come on. Very well connected individual to what's going on in Europe and what's going on in Asia. Strong connections there. Says that they're not happy. What's going on? The Russians are not happy with what's happening. Chinese are not happy. Harley emailed me, and I think you were included in the email. He told you verbatim from the horse's mouth what the Chinese power structure thinks about what Trump did with Syria. None of it is good. So I'm still waiting for this 4D chess. I mean, wasn't it my first 100 days?
Oh, V, your mic dropped. V completely dropped. So V will be back in just a moment, and I'll just go ahead and continue with the broadcast. So yeah, so this is a very interesting article that just kind of maps out basically within the last 24 hours the flips that have occurred. V, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what
Okay,
happened, dude.
cool.
That was
You're
weird.
back now.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh,
Yeah, so we're talking about the amount of flips in the past 24 hours, and you were telling how Harley was sharing with you basically the information. So I'll let you
yeah.
take over.
Yeah, I mean, he was telling me directly from the horse's mouth, what the Chinese power structure thought, what Xi Jinping's inner circle said. And remember, I one time met Professor Xu, who is Xi Jinping's inner circle. He is somebody who was a very close college buddy of Xi Jinping. and we met at the Schiller Institute in Manhattan. During the whole speaking thing. Now, here's the deal, right? Let's break down the 5 things that he flipped on in 24 hours. CJ, let's start with number 1. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So again, when you take a look at just overall policy, let's take a look at basically whether China is a currency manipulator. That's something that constantly through the entire campaign that China's a currency manipulator, and they rig their currency. They purposely bring it down. We just cannot allow this to continue. We're gonna wage this war, and then boom, what happens after they meet? And there was a little bit of resolution there that they're going to import American beef and all that kind of good stuff. And so now they're no longer a currency manipulator. Everything is cool, and the dollar is too strong. We need to push down the dollar and make it a weak dollar now. So
you see, CJ, that's 4D chess. See, what you don't understand, that's 4D chess right there. Okay. Well, here's the problem, right? Look at the whole China currency manipulator nonsense, right? Who did Bannon bring in? Who was Bannon's top guy to go deal with China? Who? Peter Navarro, right?
Navarro, yep.
And what does this mean that all of a sudden the tune has changed, that China is not the currency manipulator, right? That they're not the currency manipulator. Yeah, everything's fine. What does that mean? Who else did he bring in besides Navarro? See, Bannon brings in into his nationalistic circle Peter Navarro, guys like that are willing to negotiate and be hard-nosed with China. Who else is brought in? Who else is brought into the advisory team? All of a sudden, the tune has changed. Goldman sucks.
Yeah.
Goldman sucks. Seems like Goldman sucks is really winning in this cabinet, does it not? Right?
Right.
Factoid number 1. I guess that's 4D chess. Right?
Yep.
Factoid number 2. Okay? Strong dollar. And we spoke about this with Jim, and we had a great laugh about it. Okay? The strong dollar was, if you really wanted to crash the market, you really wanted to burn the market, which, I'm in favor of, like my good buddy Bix, he's in favor of. He wants this crap to end. He wants this manipulation to end, to be all done with. The key to that is having a strong dollar. Okay? Because now you're going to hyperinflate to oblivion. A strong dollar with rising interest rates, you will absolutely collapse the whole entire financial economy, global economy, faster at a quicker rate than if you were to have a very cheap or a weak dollar. All of a sudden, what's happening with the strong dollar, CJ?
Yeah. So now he's advocating for lower interest rates. To Trump basically stated that, well, because of me politically and the confidence, it's boosted the dollar up way, and that might not necessarily be a good thing.
Yeah.
So let's keep interest rates artificially low and bring the dollar down some more and keep the cheap flow of money going out.
Absolutely. I think our dollar is getting too strong, he says, and partially that's my fault because people have confidence in me, but that's hurting, and that will hurt ultimately. He added, look, there's some very good things about a strong dollar, but usually speaking, the best thing about it is that it sounds good. If there was a camera on my face.
be dropped again. So let's take a look at issue number 2, the Export-Import Bank, which obviously allows for subsidizing U.S. exports. So this is something that on the campaign Trump was adamantly against, is saying, hey, we don't need to necessarily do this. So now Trump supports will anger conservative opponents of the bank, who says it enables crony capitalism. So, and quote unquote, basically, Trump says it's a ridiculous thing, but actually it's a very good thing, and it actually makes money. You could make a lot of money. So that's flip number 2. This next one, which is huge, is, and I'm sending an invite to V real quick to get him back on, is NATO. And we all witnessed yesterday the joint chief, the conversation with the UN, the NATO chief, specifically stating that the NATO is no longer a bad thing. You heard specifically on the stump that NATO needs to go away. They need to, NATO is no longer necessary or necessarily. It's basically inefficient. It's not accomplishing anything. So now we have Trump again flipping, basically saying that, you know what? I said it was obsolete. It's no longer obsolete, the president says on Wednesday. So, the continuation of these things time and time again regarding the flips is just over and over. So if he's playing 4D chess, then I specifically want to know what actions that he's taken that are specifically going to help those that supported him, those that showed the support that got him elected. And now we see time and time again regarding numerous things and how it's completely, yes, granted, he's becoming a politician is basically what's happened, is that, the swamp is draining him. He's went to Washington, D.C., and now effectively he is no longer a nationalist. He's now a political talking heads and buying into the same policy, some of the same several things over the last
all right, I'm back.
several years. Back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Where did I leave off? I switched browsers. I went from Safari to back to Chrome. I'm good now. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Maybe that's why.
That's exactly what's happening. Freaking Safari.
So V, so I was basically stating that the swamp has in fact drained Trump. Yeah. And effectively now that he's in DC, he's no longer, promoting the same ideas that got him elected. He's basically became a politician.
Right, absolutely. So let's talk about where did I leave off, man? I left off on before I got cut off.
Oh, we finished off. We're getting ready to talk about the Import-Export Bank and the subsidizing of U.S. exports is where we were at the step we were going to.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, all right, let's go there. So I covered the whole entire. You guys were able to hear the whole entire strong dollar rant that I was on. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. Cool. Now we're going to the Import-Export Bank. Go ahead, CJ.
So basically, and again, I stated this anyway, you were gone, but yes, the Import-Export Bank and talking specifically around that, tax subsidies and, on the stuff we don't necessarily need to be doing this, and all of a sudden flips the narrative and, now it's not such a bad thing because there's lots of money to be made by, subsidizing, companies for this. So again, just a complete flip on the stump. And then V, I'll let you discuss the whole NATO thing one more time, just in case people didn't hear it, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
This is what me and Jim Rogers and CJ was laughing in the background last night. What did he say? NATO is obsolete. We need to, or they need to pull their own weight. They need to do this. They need to do that. What happened now? Well, now all of a sudden NATO is no longer obsolete. Okay. And then he had a big summit, a big conference. He didn't have a post press conference with Xi Jinping because why? Xi Jinping was upset. I mean, Harley Schlanger said you might as well have slapped President Xi Jinping across the face. Okay, with that missile, which I agree with him because I know the Chinese. Okay, look, folks, the Chinese are smarter than us. Get used to it. They've been around, like what Jim Rogers says, thousands of years longer than we have. All right, get used to it. They understand what trade wars are all about. They understand what wars are all about. They understand human history. And like Jim Rogers said last night, CJ, the Chinese are the best. Yeah, they're communist on the surface, but they're the best damn capitalists out right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, they're the best capitalists out right now. Right. And they're doing their best trying to educate Trump, trying to educate these insane Americans who have no freaking clue. Okay. So yesterday, what happens? Well, he has this whole thing with Jen Stoltenberger. Okay. Anybody named General Jen, that's just a weird name to begin with. Very feminine, if you ask me, which is fitting for a European guy. During the campaign, he frequently called the organization obsolete, saying it did a little crackdown on terrorism, that its other members don't pay their fair share. And now today, yesterday, he said it was obsolete, but is no longer obsolete. Those are his own quotes. It was obsolete. It is no longer obsolete. What the F? WTF? I guess this is also 4D chess, right? I guess this is 4D chess. Now,
why do we even call it NATO? I mean, like the U.S. provides like probably 75% of the funds, provides probably 75% of the boots, and all we do is give it a foreign leader just to make it seem like it is some type of nationalist or global type body. It's not. It's basically U.S. based. That's it.
Now here's the thing. Now Trump's gradually become more supportive of NATO after it ramped up efforts to increase U.S. and European intelligence sharing regarding terrorism. NATO is not the type of organization you want to connect with when it comes to ramping up on terrorism. Why don't you connect with Interpol? Why don't you connect with the intelligence services that are already active? Okay, the GSG9 in Germany, this, that, and the other. Connect with those guys. What does NATO have to do with anything? NATO's only purpose was to agitate Russia. That's their only purpose, to agitate and contain. Okay? And NATO has a history of false flags. If you don't believe me, look up Operation Gladio. All right? So why? Why NATO all of a sudden, right? And now, and Trump still insisted that NATO allies meet their financial obligations and pay what they owe. You think NATO allies are going to meet their financial obligations and pay what they owe? Hell out of here.
With what? Pay checks? They're going to write us a check?
They're going to write us a check. They're going to pay us in I don't know what they're going to pay us in, bro. It's ridiculous. They're going to pay us in Iraqi dinari. That's what they're going to pay us in. All right. So, and then a unknown nation, unbeknownst to anyone, you and I mentioned this, little country called Montenegro becomes the newest member of NATO. Okay. Those are 5 key issues, man. Okay, and our boys over at Zero Hedge, our friends over there, they did a great job putting this together as well. Strong dollar, flipped on that. China's currency, flipped on that. You know what that means? Goldman Sachs is in. Steve Bannon's nationalistic circle with Peter Navarro, that's out. You backtracked on Yellen. Yellen is wonderful. She's great all of a sudden. Okay, Yellen, just like our buddy Ken Chorgen says, she's the Lyndon Baines Johnson. Okay, she's the Lyndon Baines Johnson of the Fed, bro. She's been around forever.
Right. Yep. But she can stay. She's okay now. She's not that bad, V. She's okay. She's accomplished a lot.
It's 4D chess. I don't know who's getting played 4D chess. Is it being played on the world, or is it played on the supporters? Somebody's getting 4D chess applied to them. All right, let's go to the next 4D chess over here. Trump abandons real economic solutions for typical neocon war spending. CJ, let's break this down, bro. Go ahead.
Well,
and this is from David Stockman.
Yeah, this is from David Stockman. We have so many domestic issues, things on our front. We have, bridges, roads collapse. With inner cities that are falling apart. This complete idea around make America great again. Okay, so making America great again shouldn't include revamping our military so much, spending so much money, becoming a war economy. For what? Huh? What's that?
Which never works. Never works.
So how in the world is that going to help U.S. economy? It's not. And we have not learned anything from the past 16 years, while the rest of countries, China, Russia, the BRICS nations, have completely passed us up. They're leaving us completely behind,
right? Because
of these same mentalities that Trump is embracing right now, V.
Absolutely. Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I believe vets, they should get proper health care. They should, get proper compensation. No, I completely support our troops. But what I do not support are these neocons, are these political figureheads that have no problem taking our troops and putting them in harm's way.
Right.
How about if they're gonna any type of military action they're gonna authorize? How about they have to volunteer a family member to join infantry? How about that, V?
Oh no, they wouldn't do that. I mean, can you imagine Lindsey Graham in a pair of boots?
Never mind, V. Cancel that idea.
It's the economy, stupid, right? Remember Clinton's old thing? It's the economy, stupid. And the main reason,
go keep going. Yep, I love it.
The whole reason why Trump was elected was because flyover country, because of middle America was pissed off that they had no jobs, no factories, their life was being dismantled. And now that's April. It's very clear, okay, to a lot of individuals, man, a lot of pundits are looking at this, that not only Trump, but the GOP's already abandoned Obamacare issue. And that's why tax cuts ain't going to go through. That's why, let me ask you, if you don't take care of Obamacare, you're not bringing in jobs in here, right? Because Obamacare is a friggin' tax. Why would I want to bring my company? So all these, I met with so-and-so, he's going to invest $50 billion and 100,000 new jobs, blah, 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 blah. Why would they want to come now? You can't even take care of Obamacare in the first 100 days? Okay, we're going to let it implode on its own. When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? Okay, we've been talking about Obamacare imploding for the last 2 years now, CJ.
Right.
And Obamacare somehow miraculously, like the stock market, continues to run, and no one can explain why.